Absolutely incredible.
And you keep coming here, Shirley.
Welcome again.
Okay. Vaughn, please.
All right, can everybody in the back hear me? My name is Vaughn Ripley, and I'm an HIV positive hemophiliac. I've been HIV positive for 25 or more years, so I'm actually one of the longest living HIV positive people on the planet. And when Dr. Hogan was speaking, I actually had a lot of, it affected me in the heart because he's talking about stigma now. You guys don't even know what stigma is unless you were in the 80s and had death threats on a regular basis, and your parents terrified and ready to move out of the neighborhood, threats on the house being burned down. I mean, today, somebody being scared or somebody being shocked, yeah, that's definitely something that affects you, but we've come a long way. I feel like we still have a long way to go, but we have come an incredible distance as far as trying to do something about that stigma. Basically, in the 80s, the mid-80s, I got HIV through a bad blood transfusion. I get factor VIII. It's a blood product that clots my blood whenever I have bleeding issues. And I guess back in the 80s, they weren't as good at testing the blood as they are these days, because apparently it's gotten a lot better. But almost 100% of hemophiliacs from the 80s get hepatitis C, and I had hepatitis C. I actually went through 9 or 10 months of incredible regimen of drugs. I was on a beta program testing out this theory that these new drugs might work in getting rid of a virus that they thought they couldn't get rid of. And fortunately for me, it did work. I know that like 50% of the people who participated, it didn't work for. So that's terrible, but I mean, I'm very happy about it that it did work for me. And one thing that's been really fortunate to me and helped me to sort of make it through all of this, because I had some terrible times too. I hear a lot of things that these guys are saying that, I mean, they all hit home for me. But what I had was the support of a loving woman, and my wife. We've been married for about 16 years now. We've been together for 22 years. She was always there for me and gave me support, and that's something that I think carried me through, in addition to the other things that I did to try and survive. We've been sexually active for 22 years, and she's not HIV positive. So that's one thing that I wanted to convey to the group, that it actually is possible to lead a pretty much what I consider a normal life, and have the people around you stay HIV negative. And over the course of the last few years, technology has changed also, and it allowed us to have children. There's a new in vitro process called ICSI, ICSI. Don't ask me what that stands for. I can't remember because it's something doctor related. But what it means to me is that they basically looked at individual sperm and were able to find that there wasn't virus detected in the sperm, and they matched that up with one of my wife's eggs, and then we fertilized her. And so we've had 2 children that way. So I mean, I feel really blessed. I mean, basically, back in the 80s, like everybody else, my doctor told me I had 2 years to live. And back then, there was no way I was even going to get a girlfriend, let alone a wife and have children and lead a successful life. But over the last 25 years, basically, I've spent every waking day proving everyone wrong who told me that I couldn't live more than 2 years. And recently, I finished a memoir. I just want to plug it. I know the holidays are here, so family and friends. My memoir, Survivor, details a lot of the trials and tribulations that I went through during that entire time period. And one thing that I wanted to touch on also, because you guys are, the majority anyway, I guess, are thinking doctor and thinking that direction. So I want to tell you some of the things that I've done to survive over the 25 or more years. I spent a lot of time speaking with professionals, interviewing doctors and talking to professionals in science and doctors. And basically, they told me the only way that I was going to prolong my life with this virus was taking medicine. And I also spent a lot of time with family and friends that were religious, and they told me that the only way to beat this virus was to have faith and to pray every day. And I have fitness buff friends who said the only way you're going to beat this virus is if you eat nutritiously, you work out every day, and you follow like good sleep patterns and have good healthy habits. I had homeopath friends who said if you take herbal tea and if you go get acupuncture and if you do yoga, you are going to beat this virus. I had self-help people in books and people that I met and talked to who said the only way to beat this virus is to have a positive attitude. And I'm here, it's my belief, I'm here today before you guys, alive and kicking, 25 years after being told I was HIV positive, because I did a combination of all of those things. I took my drugs every day. I have pretty much done every drug that was up on that board at some point or another. I have had a positive attitude, well, not every day, but for the most part, I've kept a positive attitude my entire time. And I exercise regularly, and I try real hard to eat nutritious meals and stay healthy. And I have done some homeopathic things, doing the herbal teas I'm not so hip on, and acupuncture, hell no. You know, doing things like that. And I think that all of those things combine to keep me here. And that's the message that I wanted to convey.